Hey everybody, last Friday in this little town called Casa Grande, Buena had a record-breaking game and a back-and-forth effort where they hit the pedal to the metal in the third quarter. They never looked back beyond there in a 66-42 win over the Casa Grande Cougars, pushing their record to an incomparable 5-1. And as they're on a bye week, they're still here working out, and we're going to take some time to talk about last week's game, what the bye week is all about, and everything in between on this episode of the Buena pregame show, brought to you by Ssvec, Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, serving our community. As always, we're joined by Buena High School football head coach, my friend, head coach Joe Thomas. Joe, always great to see you, man.
You too.
Congratulations on the big win on Friday. My goodness, it looked like it was a real shootout there for a while, and then in that third quarter, you guys outscored them 21-0. You shut them out in the third and then never looked back. What was it like in that first half versus starting the second half?
Well, we knew it was going to be a good game. I mean, you had two teams that were 4-1 going in. You had two teams that put up a lot of high points in games. The only difference is when they lost their game against Micah Mountain, they only put up 7 points. When we lost to Tucson High, there was a chip on our shoulder, so we wanted to keep plugging away. Casa Grande beat us last year here 32-35, and so we had a year to figure out we were going to work that out, and the kids jumped on board, and my mentality was, of course, one game at a time, 1 week at a time, but when Casa Grande became on the schedule, now it was payback. So a lot of the words of the week were payback and let's go get it. You know, we knew we could do it. It was back and forth in the first half, and I think and we got the ball coming out in the third, which was nice, but we were up, I think, 28-35.
Yep.
So that was a big deal because we scored with like six. We ended up running a kickoff return, and then we ended up scoring with like 15 seconds left. I think they had 6 seconds left on the clock, and then we were able to go in. And then the third quarter, it was the whole halftime, it was a halftime like no other. Even though we were winning, the mindset of everybody was, we got to finish. We got to finish. Everybody was still hyped up. We were still bubbling over, and we didn't let it simmer down. We kept balling, and we were bubbling up. We even went out early. It was a 20-minute halftime because it was their homecoming.
Oh, that's right.
And we even went out a little bit earlier, and we were standing there just because we were ready to rock and roll, and we owned the third quarter. You know, I think and the nice part too is that third quarter we had the ball for a lot of it.
Yeah.
We were driving down. We ended up scoring, and we were just kind of taking their will away. And our guys played well, and they wanted it. And a lot of guys from last year were hungry for this win, and they stepped up and they played. And a lot of guys produced, and we did a good job, and we came out with the win.
Absolutely. So you knew, again, a 4-1 team is going to be a formidable opponent at a certain point. Putting up 42 points, and they were still 24 points short of winning this game.
Right.
It just shows the efforts that was put in by the offense, and that the defense held on just long enough. Or did they have some special teams plays, or how did they get that 42 points?
Well, they were able to make some plays. We had some pass interference calls on defense that held them. We had a couple letdowns in the tackling department. And their quarterback is good. Their quarterback was top quarterback in the state. They had some good receivers. Running back was good and shifty. So they were making it a game, but the key to it was we had an interception. We had 2 fumble recoveries, and we had another interception by a lineman. So we had four takeaways, which if we didn't have those takeaways, then it could have been a close game. It could have went in overtime. But we won the turnover battle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We won that turnover battle, and sometimes when you're getting high-scoring teams, you're going to win that turnover battle. And, I mean, that's a lot of points to be scored in a game.
And in any league, though, in any level, you turn the ball over 3 times, your odds of winning completely go down.
Correct. And we scored touchdowns. I mean, we kicked a field goal. I mean, we were doing well. We didn't punt at all.
Okay.
I know we threw 1 interception. We fumbled the ball 1 time, and then we turned over on 4th down. But they didn't do anything with those. So it was a high intense game, and I think our kids handled it well.
I love that intensity that they do bring, and that you're able to instill in these young people. Your record sits at 5-1. They say your record is what it says it is. 5-1's a pretty good way to be after getting that first win in conference.
Right.
You have a bye week right now.
Right.
What's a bye week like, especially when it's fall break? I mean, does every team have fall break this week, and does everybody off this week, or how does that work?
On that, and there used to be times where we used to have games on our fall break. So the AIA and the school district don't link together and say, hey, let me give you a bye on fall break. So it just works out. The last couple of years we've had fall break and we've had our bye week.
Yeah.
So it works out good for us. Normally what we do is we use it as we'll condition a lot more. We back off of the hitting, and we kind of go back to the drawing board on a lot of the fundamentals, So it's kind of give the kids, let them get their legs under them. They're not hitting it as much, and then if they have questions, just kind of clean up some things. And it's nice to be 5-1 then go into a bye week, and then we play home against Desert View next week.
Talk about the pros and cons of a bye week. I mean, what are the good sides of a bye week, and then what are the negative aspects?
The good side of 10 weeks of football is long in a regular season.
Yeah.
On a high school player, you think about 10 weeks. That's a long time to hit and then come back, and you're trying to recover, but then get ready for the next team. So the pro of it is that you have that week to kind of evaluate who you are, evaluate where you're at, evaluate what you have to look at going forward, and then get some guys healthy if you need to. We've been healthy going in, but let some guys get some rehab. Our athletic trainer Jeff, he's been here all week with us, so guys have been going in there getting some rehab work in, so that's good, right? So now we can make it the rest of the season, and then just being able to you have 2 weeks to focus on a team now instead of one. So those are a lot of the pros. The cons, when you're playing hot and you take advantage of the bye week, I don't think there's any cons.
Okay.
Right? If you keep the intensity up throughout this week, now some coaches, they might give their kids days off. We're going Monday through Thursday. We're giving them tomorrow off. But we've gone Monday through Thursday. We've gone hard as far as our conditioning, as far as our mentality. We haven't been banging because we want to give them a little break so that way they come back next week, we'll pick back up on it. But if you do it right, I don't think there's any cons to it if you do it right. But if I gave these guys Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, or I gave them days off and they kind of get back in hibernation mode, then next week we try to pick it back up, then that'd be tough to do with 15, 16, 17-year-old kids.
Yeah.
That's why we have practice. A lot of our kids are here. The ones that know better are here.
Yeah.
Some kids are still on vacation doing things, and when they come back, you'll know they're behind.
Yeah.
And then some of them that are standing on the sideline next to me, you probably know they weren't in practice this week.
Yeah, exactly. And those are the choices you have to make, sacrifices that you make. Being a student athlete here at any high school, much less my alma mater, Buena High School. Let's talk about, going back to last Friday's game in Casa Grande, we got a couple of players of the game to talk about, and we'll bring them over here. But let's have you talk about them first. Okay. Let's start with the offensive player of the game. That's a quarterback by the name of Nash Moore.
Yep. And he's done well. I mean, what was he, 16 of 21? He had 264 yards.
Responsible for 6 touchdowns?
6 touchdowns, which was nice. And, he was on, last week I told him, I went up to him and I said, hey, I looked him straight in his eyes. I said, this is a must-win game. He's like, I know, Coach. I said, get it done. He's like, I will, Coach. So.
And did he ever?
And he did. He picked up. He even ran for a couple. He had a couple carries, and he picked up some first downs for us, which was really nice. But he trusts his receivers, and we knew what we could do coming in. And he took it upon himself, and he made some nice plays. And I'm happy for him. And he, from that game, he got nominated for the Ed Doherty Award. The Ed Doherty Award is almost like the Heisman Trophy of high school football. It goes to the best high school player in Arizona. So his stats in that game, his stats right now, and the game that he played and having 6 touchdowns, he's now a nominee for the Ed Doherty
Give him some
Award.
Love in the live chat for that, guys.
He's going to get a medallion. They're going to do the whole thing in December.
Yeah, the ceremony.
But if he's keep playing well, then we'll find out. We'll find out in December if he's that guy. We got 4 more games left. He just needs to keep doing what he does best. And we hope that his numbers get him the votes and he can win it.
That's incredible. Also on offense, not on my list here, but Jaden Thomas, your son ended up getting a recognition as well.
Yeah, and he got so they, I'll get the name of it, but Casa Grande, they had one of their sports people up there, and they did the varsity breakdown player of the game. So they did the varsity breakdown player of the game, and he was able to win that. He had, I think he had 6 receptions. He had 137 yards, and he had 3 touchdowns, receiving touchdowns. So
busy day at the office.
Busy day for him, but they recognized him for that too. So
fantastic. That was nice. Now, back to your picks, or the coaching staff pick, defensive player of the game, Charlie Price. I haven't talked about him too much this season, huh?
And we moved some things around. We had some guys going both ways.
Yeah.
And so we moved.
Charlie's
him,
usually one of those guys, right?
We moved him around. We got him. He got some time in free safety. He had an interception.
Yep.
He had a handful of tackles. He had a fumble recovery, which was nice. And then he also plays offense too. But he has some nice takeaways. He had some deflections, and he did a good job on the defense in that middle third. So that's why he was able to get that defensive player of the game.
I love that. And then of course you got the offense, you got the defense, and you got the team
player
of the week. Let's talk about Emmanuel Bacharski.
So he goes both ways.
Yeah.
So we put him on the line. We give him a little love, but he was able to get 2 fumble recoveries for us. He was able to get an interception, and then he made some tackles on defense too. But he played both ways. ways. So it was him and Charlie were right there, and I was like, well, we, instead of doing, a skill guy that did, basically we had 2 defensive players, but I wanted to give him the team one because we also use him on offense too. So, I mean, like I said, he had 1 interception and 2 fumble recoveries, so that was key.
And like we talked about earlier in this live stream, if you're just joining us, it was those turnovers that were literally the difference in this game. So, I mean, they were literal difference makers and needle movers.
Yep.
Would it be okay if we talk to them?
Yes, sir.
We'll have you go get them. Coach Thomas will go and grab those players of the game that you are watching. The Buena pregame. Now, there's no pregame this week because Buena is on their bye week, but they will be playing against Desert View right here in Sierra Vista on Friday, October 18th at 7 p.m. You can mark that on your calendars as the Buena pregame with Jeff Davenport, brought to you by Ssvec, Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, serving our community. As these players are taking a little break, got the 3 coming over here to talk to us about their accomplishments this past week and what they were looking at and what they're looking forward to. All right here. Sir,
how you doing?
Good to see you. Nash, introduce yourself to everybody.
I'm Nash Moore.
And what grade are you in?
I'm in 12th grade.
You are a senior, and you had quite a busy day at the office on Friday night. As the offense puts up 66 points, I'd say that's running and gunning and slinging the entire time, right?
Most of the time, yeah.
Yeah. Now talk about the effort that the offense put in. I mean, it's not every day that any team gets 66 points, much less a team that you're facing was 4-1, had the exact same record as you guys coming in. What was the difference?
Well, I think that we come in and we put in a game plan, and our players follow that game plan. We watch film, and we tell our receivers exactly what we want to do. And I think when we go out there and we execute how we say we're going to execute and how we practice, it goes pretty well.
I'd say so. Obviously, that day at the office, it went really, really well.
It went really well.
Responsible for 6 touchdowns in that game. And Coach Thomas told us that because of your efforts in this game, you were nominated for quite a prestigious award.
Yes, I was. I saw that. I believe it's the Ed Doherty Award.
Yeah.
I had never heard of it until I saw a Facebook post about it. So,
and so now that you know it exists, you've probably researched its lineage and what it really means. What kind of honor is this to be able to be nominated for something like this?
I can't say that I researched it. It's not my main focus to win awards. I'm more focused about next Friday, but I read something that it's one of the more prestigious awards to win as a high school football player in the state. So to win it would be exciting, but obviously I can't do it without these guys, and I can't do it without winning out the rest of the season. So I got to keep up what we've been doing.
And speaking of the rest of the season, this week is a bye week. What is a mentality going into a bye week? You've had them now for 3 years. This is your 4th year of a bye week. What kind of mentality do you have on a week off?
It's the same mentality, especially out here on the field now. In the weight room, for me, it's been a lighter week. It's more so to recover so that I'm not hurting anything. And for a couple of the guys, it's been the same thing. But for the guys that have the morning lifting class, they're supposed to go heavier this week. So we got a bit of different worlds, but when on the field, it stays the same. It's full speed. I mean, we're not in full pads today, but these guys are going to be focused all the way through, as they should be.
Excellent. Well, keep up the great work, and rest up as you're able to, and congratulations again on the big win. 6 touchdowns you're responsible for, including the big award, being nominated for that. That's absolutely awesome. Thanks so much, Nash.
Thank you, guys.
And have a great rest of your week. We'll bring over the next player of the game. Let's see here. Charlie, introduce yourself to everybody.
I'm Charlie Price. I'm a senior at Buena here, yeah.
Charlie, talk about what it's like to be a part of this team for as many years as you have. I mean, you're a guy that from the broadcast booth, I've said your name more times than I can remember. You're all over the field on both sides of the ball. How much pride do you have in being a Buena Colt?
I love it. It's like a good family. Like, I'm glad us 3 run it because we hang out outside of football all the time. Like I've known these guys forever, So it's just it brings a real brotherhood, you know what I'm talking about? So it's really good, and I love our whole team and our whole atmosphere. It's really good.
You make me smile, Charlie. Let's talk about defensive player of the game. It's the recognition that you got this week from Coach Thomas and the coaching staff. I know you play on offense, you play on defense, but what was it about your defensive effort on last Friday in Casa Grande that really just opened up your eyes or opened up the opportunities for you to be able to make the plays that you did?
Yeah, so I was thankful to get the opportunity to play safety this game, and it was real good because it was real good because Casa Grande's way bigger than us. I mean, they got the size and everything, but I think I was like a big leader on our team for saying keeping our team together and like saying, "Yo, we got this done," no matter how big they are. And obviously, it worked out. You know, the score is 66-42. So it was just really good. I got I got a pick, which is nice. I got another pin, but they didn't call it. Whatever. But I mean, a couple tackles, but it was more of a whole defensive, strategy, and so if I work, everyone else works. You know what I'm talking about? So it was real good to see the whole defense come together as one.
Well, and getting that win, the first conference win,
Yeah.
and getting the first conference win over a team that had the same record as you going in,
Yes.
4-1.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something incredible, right?
Yeah, it was just it was definitely a big game for us. You know, if we needed that win. You know, what I'm talking about to further on our season for the postseason. So.
And it's always best to go into the bye week with a win.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, you enjoy it. It's so great to see you. Thanks so much, Charlie. Congratulations, Defensive Player of the Week. Now let's talk about the Team Player of the Week, Emmanuel Bocharski. What's going on, man? How are you?
Not much.
Introduce yourself to everybody.
I'm Emmanuel Bocharski.
And what grade are you in?
I'm a senior this year.
A senior. You know, so you got 3 seniors here, and Charlie just said you're the guys that kind of hang out off the field as well.
Yeah.
What's that brotherhood like? Just that camaraderie that you have, that you know, not just on the field, that you have each other's back, but even quote unquote in real life, IRL, in class, outside of class, when you guys are hanging out. What is that feeling like?
It feels awesome. They're my brothers. They got my back always. I know that. It's just, I know them for years now. It's just living life now, having fun with them. Yeah.
Talk about your day. You had a busy day at the office on Friday in Casa Grande. I'm seeing 2 fumble recoveries and an interception. How does a big corn-fed colossus like you get an interception, Emmanuel? I don't understand this.
I don't know. It just happened, I guess. It just
Talk
came
about
to
that
me.
play.
Well, we were going. It was pass. I got in. I pushed my guy back a little bit. Then Trent goes in. I see him, and the ball gets hit. And I just see it spiraling towards me, and I dove out and grabbed it and caught it. And
you dove, and you were in midair. You caught it with one hand. See, you can sell these things. These people will believe you. You caught it on one finger. You tipped it, tipped it, and then pulled it in.
Yep.
And that's amazing though. And then again, not 1 fumble recovery, but 2. So obviously the defense was really putting that ball on the ground.
Yep.
And we talked to Coach Thomas about this. It was those turnovers that really made the difference in this game. 66-42 could have been 42-42 without those turnovers. Talk about the importance of those.
Just getting the ball back for our offense to score again without them scoring on us just helped us out with point systems.
And that also was the key to that third quarter as you guys shut them out 21-0 in the third.
Yeah. Yep.
Coming out of halftime, what was the atmosphere like? It's their homecoming. What are you thinking as you're watching their homecoming celebrations happening on that field? Coach said, I brought them out early. I wanted them to see what was going on and watch what was happening. What are the feelings that are inside of you thinking about that?
It was crazy because it's kind of disrespectful as them putting us as homecoming, because homecoming is usually the game you can win and be happy on homecoming. But we came out and wanted to destroy the homecoming, and we did. So
you absolutely did. Well, congratulations, Team Player of the Week, Emmanuel Bocharski. Man, get back to practice here. And as we wrap up, we'll bring Coach Thomas back into the fold just to talk one more time about these 3 amazing young student athletes and just the crew that you have here. They keep talking about team. They keep talking about, I couldn't do this without my teammates. I couldn't get that fumble recovery had it not been knocked out. I couldn't have got that interception if it wasn't tipped in the air. It is a real camaraderie here, both on and off the field.
Yeah, and that's what we practice and preach, and when you start thinking you can do everything by yourself, that's when it doesn't work out, because then you start doing somebody else's job. And then if you can look to your left, look to your right, and know that somebody's got your back, and you play for each other, and it's bigger, we're playing this game again that's bigger than any of us, it makes it more special,
I love the word legacy. Legacy is something, and I'm proud to have my blue and white legacy be a part of their experience, and again, still get goosebumps that you let the kids sing happy birthday to me. I got to pump them up and break them down on my birthday this year. That was the coolest moment ever. But again, going into the bye 5-1, you got a week off, and then Desert View is who you're preparing for right here on this very field, right behind the camera. They're going to be here, and it will be go time.
going to be exciting. And we don't take anybody lightly. Tomorrow, Desert we play Cienega, so I'm actually going to Tucson to watch that.
To scout
game, to get some eyes on them. I mean, we know what they're doing. We already got film on them and stuff like that. But we're locked in. We don't take anybody lightly, and they're going to come here in front of the home crowd, and we're even more excited because last time we were here under the home crowd, we didn't handle how we wanted it. So we're still upset about that, and we're going to take it to them, and we're excited. So it's going to be good.
Well, going into the bye week, they are 5-1. They are your Buena Fighting Colts here. And thank you guys so much for watching this episode of the Buena pregame, brought to you by Ssvec, Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, serving our community. Do us a favor, like this video, share this video around, tag your friends and family members who you know have kids who go to Buena, whether they're on the football team or some other sports team, or they just attend here. Let them know that these are the exciting things happening with these young student athletes. Remember, student comes before athlete every time, and Coach Thomas will be the first to remind us of that. All these kids have classes, they have pop quizzes, they have homework, they have all sorts of stuff that they have to deal with every single day, and then they have to come out here and perform the excellent standard that has been set by generations long before them, long before me, have been a part of, and they get to carry on that legacy. Coach, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us. As always, you are the best. We love you, and thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. Go Colts. We'll catch you guys later on. Thanks again. Thanks, brother. Love you, man. Love you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Great job. And, these kids are great. It's so much fun to do.
Harvard, appreciate y'all. Have a good job. Harvard.